The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com.
Welcome to the Old Time Radio Network Suspense Stories. Are you ready for a thriller, chiller, or the macabre? We now go back to the early days of radio and our imaginations with our featured suspense presentation.
Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here again to introduce Columbia's program, Suspense. From Hollywood, we bring you a star, Mr. Orson Welles, who this evening begins a 4-week engagement as guest of these proceedings. In the interest of prime suspense, Mr. Welles and the producer of this series have scheduled 4 radio stories which they feel are particularly distinguished in our chosen field. The first of these is The Most Dangerous Game by Richard Connell. And so with the performance of Orson Welles in the character of General Zaroff and Keenan Wynn as Sanger Rainsford, who learned from Zaroff what was the most dangerous game, we again hope to keep you in suspense.
I haven't much time. Any moment now he may come in, and when he does, I'm going to kill him. It's him or me. And I'm going to do my best to make it him. Well, maybe it sounds crazy to you. I guess it does. It would have sounded crazy to me a few days ago when I was with Whitney on the yacht. I was on a pleasure trip. A pleasure trip. How could I or anyone realize then the horror and torment I was to go through? How was I to know of Yvonne and the death swamp and the hounds? How was I to know of Zaroff? Think of it. It was only 4 nights ago that the ship went down. We've been talking about this island, Ship Trap Island, Whitney said it was called in the charts. I was sleepy and started on down below to turn in. I was mixing myself a nightcap when I looked up and saw it. A tremendous reef racing at us out of the fog. I screamed out a warning, but it was too late. We were right upon it. I alone was standing safe out on the prowl, but the force of the explosion hurled me into the blood-warm waters. Terrified at the suddenness and surprise, my stomach weakened sick at the thought of the others. The sea was eddying furiously around the sinking remnants of the ship. And a certain cool heaviness came to me and made me swim desperately away, or I might not have lived to go through the horror which was soon to come. I struck out to the right in the direction of the island about which Whitney had been telling me. I have no recollection of how long I swam, but all at once I heard the muttering and growling of the sea breaking on the rocky shore. With my remaining strength, I dragged myself from the swirling waters. All in, gasping, my hands raw, I at last reached a flat place at the top. I flung myself down at the jungle edge and tumbled headlong into the deepest sleep of my life. When I awoke, I was in a strange place, having no idea how I had left it.
Well, Yvonne, our friend seems to be awakening.
Where is this? Where am I?
Do not be alarmed, my friend. My man Yvonne found you out on the cliff and brought you here to be taken care of.
Well, thank God there's life on this island. I hardly believed.
No, I didn't do it.
Few people do.
You
You are quite safe here in my castle,
Rainsford.
Yes.
Take it easy, Sanger Rainsford of New York.
The way things are, I can't...
Sanger Rainsford?
Yes.
Well, it is indeed a very great pleasure and honor to welcome you, Mr. Sanger Rainsford.
Now, Miss Lee,
You're the celebrated hunter, are you not?
Yes. You know me?
How long were you in the...
By reputation only. I've read your book about hunting snow leopards in Tibet, you see. My name is General Zaroff. I am not English, Mr. Rainsford, but I went to a good school. Perhaps you recognize the colors of my tie. No, it makes no difference. I've lived too long in the jungle to be a snob.
Well, I can't tell you how happy I am to meet you, General.
And I can't tell you how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Rainsford. But come, we shouldn't be chatting here. We can talk later. You must be hungry.
Yes, I am rather. What?
Yvonne thought you'd like a robe. He's drying your clothes for you.
Oh, thank you.
He was an incredibly strong fellow, but you mustn't mind his looks. His ears were cut off in battle, and he has the misfortune to be deaf and dumb. He is sensitive about his appearance. A simple fellow, really, but I'm afraid a bit savage.
Oh.
He's been in our family for years. Follow Yvonne, if you please, Mr. Rainsford. I was about to have my luncheon just before you awoke. You can have it together now. Does the robe fit you all right?
Oh, yes, perfectly, thanks.
I'm so glad.
You have quite a collection of heads here. Lions, tigers, elephants, moose, bears. Oh, I don't believe I've ever seen a more perfect specimen.
They are nice. I take great pride in them.
You have good cause.
Coming from you, Mr. Rainsford, that is a great compliment.
Any more
Here we are.
of your clients, Troy, will have to be made in the cell.
Thank you.
And you'll get
Oh,
permission
thank
from your
you.
lawyer.
We do our best to preserve the amenities of civilization here. Please forgive my lapses.
Of course.
Yes.
Surely,
Well off the
Angel, I
beaten
love you
track, you
dearly,
know.
but there are times when you don't understand
Shoo-shoo.
he's innocent, do you?
Shoo-shoo.
Well, now, I don't know. Oh, come on.
Shoo-shoo. This is my little pet, Mr. Rainsford. As a hunting falcon, Shoo-shoo is of no further usefulness in the field.
Have you booked the
But I'm fond of its company.
Case.
Am I not,
Don't you know
sweetheart?
that?
Patience, my darling. I know you're hungry,
According to my
my dear.
information, he was one of the most unpopular men in London. So you're just coming to him. Things he's
Your heads
double-crossed
are really remarkable, General. That Cape buffalo is the largest I've ever seen.
Yes, that fellow's a monster.
Did it charge you?
Hurled me against a tree, fractured my skull, left
Well,
me
you
a
know.
scar.
Take a tip, Troy.
I
Keep
got
out of this
the
one. The case is closed.
I've always thought the Cape buffalo is the most dangerous of all game.
No, you're wrong. The Cape buffalo is not the most dangerous game. Yvonne, the wine.
Can I help you?
How does he understand you?
He reads my lips.
My name's
Would you
Mrs.
like
Morgan.
this champagne,
I'm the
Mr.
director of the Morgan
Rainsford?
Publishing.
Yvonne chills it expertly.
Don't get so close.
No, the Cape buffalo is not the most dangerous.
Well, frankly, I can't visualize you.
Here in my preserve on this island, I hunt more
But may I
dangerous
see
game.
Mr. Troy? It's about
Oh,
the
is there big game on this island?
We were his publishers.
The biggest.
Oh,
Really?
yes, of course.
Oh, it isn't here naturally, of course. I have to stock the island.
Miss Morgan.
What have you imported, General? Jaguars?
Jaguars. I hope you like filet mignon, Mr. Ray.
I do very much, thank
You may
you.
go in now, Miss Morgan.
Is it Jaguars, General?
No. Hunting jaguars ceased
Good
to
morning,
interest
Mr.
me
Troy.
some years ago. I exhausted their
Thank you.
possibilities, you see.
No, my secretary said...
I'm here to discuss the
No thrill left in jaguars. You understand? No real danger.
We're all very
I
sorry to
live
hear
for
this.
danger,
Oh,
Mr.
don't you
Rainsford.
worry.
I beg your
Well, we
pardon.
will have some capital hunting. You and I.
Private investigator a long
I shall
time.
be most glad to have your company.
Yes, but
I'll
what
tell you,
game?
you'll be amused, I know. I think you may say in all modesty that I've done a rare
I've been making a
thing.
lot of inquiries.
Yes, I've invented a
I heard
new
that Steve Rennick is
sensation.
about to drop the Morgan.
May I pour you another glass of champagne, Mr.
It means you'd
Rainsford?
have loved
Thank
to
you,
revisit
General.
your
God
life
makes
with novel.
some men
That would have meant a
poets,
loss
some
of
he
about,
makes kings, some
$250,000
beggars. Me, he
for the
made a
Morgan Publishing
hunter.
Company over the years.
My hand was made for the trigger.
It was nothing.
My father once
It
said
still is
this.
nothing
Made for the
without Steve
trigger.
Rennick's novels.
My whole life has been one prolonged
Makes you
hunt.
think, doesn't it?
I've hunted every kind of game in every land. It's impossible for me to tell you how many animals I've killed. Grizzlies in your Rockies, crocodiles in the Ganges, rhinoceroses in East Africa. In Africa, by the way, that Cape buffalo hit me and laid me up for 6 months. As soon as I recovered, I started the Amazon to hunt jaguars.
Well, now, I'd
I
like to,
heard
but
they were
Please,
unusually
Mr. Stout, you could
cunning.
be too.
And if I'm not?
They weren't.
Do you take a delight
They
in
were no
taking
match
time,
at
Mr.
all
Troy?
for a hunter with his wits about
Well,
him.
that sounds like a
high-powered
veiled threat
rifle.
to me.
Well, I'll
I was
unveil.
bitterly disappointed.
Forget about Steve Vennick.
As I in my
Troy.
tent with a
Forget your
splitting headache
investigation.
one night, a
There's
terrible thought
300
pushed its way.
pounds here in my bag for you.
Hunting was beginning to bore me.
And if I don't?
And hunting,
There's
remember,
trouble.
had been my life.
Now, about that...
I've heard that in America, businessmen often go to pieces when they give up
You're going to be sorry.
business in their life.
Yes,
You're very
yes, so.
sorry.
I had no wish to go to pieces.
Attractive men like you.
I must do something. Now, mine is an analytical mind, Mr. Rainsford.
In between threats.
Doubtless, that is why I enjoy the problems of the chase.
Oh, no doubt, General.
So I asked myself why the hunt no longer fascinated me. You are much younger than I am, Mr. Rainsford, and have not hunted as much, but you perhaps can guess the answer.
What is it?
Simply this. Hunting has ceased to be what you call a sporting proposition. It has become too easy. I always got my quarry. Always. There's no greater bore than perfection. Cigarette?
No, thank you.
No animal had a chance in it. Not a chance. That is no boast. It is a mathematical certainty. The animal had nothing but his legs and his instinct. Instinct is no match for reason. When I thought of this, it was a tragic moment, I can tell you.
May I remind you that the police...
It came to me as an inspiration.
Don't question me.
And they're
I
bound
must
to
do.
And that was?
Yeah.
I had to invent a new animal to hunt.
New animal?
Oh,
you're joking.
Not at all.
Looking for another suspect.
I never joke about hunting.
Oh, I see.
I needed a new animal. I found one.
Snowball, half of it anyway.
So I bought this island, built this castle, and here I do my hunting.
Honey
The
buns and
island's
honey
perfect
buns.
for my purposes. There are jungles with a maze of trails,
Hills,
hills, swamps,
Yes, but the animal, General Zara.
It supplies me with the most exciting hunting
But
in
it's
the
not
world.
named by either. It's thick and heavy.
No other hunting compares with it. Remember?
Wasn't Melissa's either.
Every day I hunt.
Exactly how many
I
women
never
are
grow
there?
bored now. For I have a quarry with which I can match my wits.
Yes, but you still
I
haven't...
wanted the ideal animal to hunt, so I said, what are the attributes of an ideal quarry?
The manuscript isn't being
And the
copied.
answer was, of course,
Shooting my
it
girl
must
is very
have
important.
courage,
Now, several
cunning,
speak salary.
and above all, it must be able to reason.
Well, no animal
I
can
never.
reason.
Here it is.
There is one that can.
Keep down.
One? But you can't mean...
Why not?
Playing around.
It's time we
I can't believe you're serious, General Zara. You're just joking.
Joking?
What do you
Quite serious.
The flames are all around the
Speaking
window.
about hunting.
Hunting? You're speaking about murder.
Oh, dear me, that's unpleasant.
Well, this way. The front door's over here.
I think I can show you that your scruples are quite ill-founded.
Yes?
I hunt the scum of the earth.
Police have sealed off the...
Sailors from tramp ships, Lascars, Japs, mongrels, a thoroughbred horse, a hound is worth more than a score.
But these are men.
Precisely, that is why I use them.
Maybe that intruder knew we were there. Maybe he didn't. Either way, it didn't make much difference.
They can
Steve
reason.
Hennick's apartment had to be
Profession,
destroyed.
so they
And
are
whether a
dangerous.
Tesla buyer's a good way
Where
of
do you
destroying
get
anything, including yours
They
truly, plus
visit my
private
training
secretary.
school. It's in the
Yes, some of
cellar.
us, that whole place was a raging
I have
inferno.
about a dozen
The flames put out
pupils
by
down
the
there
police
now.
with a
They're
window
from the
and fire.
Spanish bark
On top
San
of
Car that had
Inspector
the bad luck
Landry's
to
boys had put a
rocks up
police
there.
seal on the front
A
door.
very inferior lot, I'm
Life was
afraid to
just a little
say.
more than tedious just
Poor
then.
specimens, more accustomed to the deck than to the jungle. Have a glass?
No.
It's a game. Sort of game. I suggest to one of them that we go hunting. I give him a supply of food and an excellent hunting knife. I give him 3 hours start time to follow, armed only with a pistol of the smallest caliber and range. If my quarry eludes me for 3 whole days, he wins the game.
I just knew you'd get into some sort of trouble, Mr. Troy.
Knew it or organized it, Miss Morgan? There was a police seal on that door. Look, I can explain, but
Suppose he
nobody's gonna believe
refuses to be hunted.
it. However, I would like to know
Oh, I
how
give
Miss
him his
Morgan
choice.
did the act.
Of course.
She got onto the scene
He
very
need not
quickly, didn't
play
she?
that game if he does not wish to.
We'll all concentrate on trying
If he does not wish to hunt, I turn him over to Yvonne. Yvonne once had the honor of serving as official promoter to my own king. She is his his own ideas
You
of
expect
sport.
me to believe a cock and bull story like that?
Invariably,
Yes.
Mr.
It happens to be
Rainsford.
the truth. This
Invariably,
of yours,
they
is male or
choose the
female?
hunt.
I couldn't tell. The room
And
was
if they
dark.
win,
Anyway, they didn't actually come into the room,
To
Inspector.
date,
Just shoved up the window and
I have
poured
not
petrol over the
lost.
carpet. Well, I don't think there was
I
any
do not
intruder.
wish
I
you
think
to
this is all a
think me a
figment of their
braggart,
very fertile
Mr.
imagination.
Rainsford.
Now, don't you start.
Many of them
Let's go like
afford
the
only the
Lord
most
Morgan, Mr.
elementary
Morgan.
sort
He
of
was
problem, I
with me,
assure
so-
you.
She'd requested
Occasionally I
permission to get
strike
rid
a
of
tartar. Sure remembers the tartar, don't you, darling? Yes.
No, just a minute.
Yes, he almost
Listen
did
to this.
win.
This is a copy
I
of
eventually had to
Janine
use the
statement after we
hounds.
arrested her.
See?
Steve Rennick's last
Wait a
words
minute,
were,
open the
too
window.
late, honey buns and honey pies.
Hello, boys!
Honey buns and honey pies. Someone must have been so negative to mention the name of the book and the guy's
They're a rather good lot, I think. They're let out at 7 every night.
Much used to anyone.
Anyone should try to get into my castle or out of it. Something extremely
You
regrettable.
employ staff writers.
Well, there are a couple of people. We
But enough of this. Come, I'll show you a collection of heads I'm
Yes, well,
quite
it's
sure
A
you've
girl?
never
Troy,
seen.
just a minute, Inspector. There's a reason for this.
Join me in the library for coffee.
One of them is a girl,
I
Miss Morgan?
hope that you will excuse me tonight,
Name?
General. I'm really not
Miss
feeling
Morgan?
well at all.
Indeed.
Helen Fremont.
I know what it is. My
Used to do a lot
old
of secretarial
complaints.
work for Steve.
Ennui, boredom, you need some
I suggest you go
excitement.
talk to the lady. May I remind
Tonight
you that
we'll
you're under
hunt.
arrest? Okay, but I've got a hunch.
Hey,
I don't
Mr.
give a
Rainsford.
hoot about your hunching.
Oh, come now,
You and
Inspector.
I.
You know about teasing with
You're wrong,
hunches.
General.
There have been a couple
I
of
won't
times
hunt.
in the past
I
when
won't
just
murder.
caught her.
There's you.
That'll be enough from
friend.
you. Now, where do we find Helen Fremont?
Choice
Miss Morgan?
rests
Her brother
entirely
has a
with
cellar
you.
club in Soho, the Carlisle.
May I not venture to
She
suggest
spends a lot
that you
of
will
time
find
with
my idea of sport more diverting than Ivan's? My dear fellow,
You don't mean that you plan to hunt
I'm
me?
sorry, Mr. Troy. We don't have until 6. I'm
My
not
dear
questioning Mr. Fremont. I just wanted to have a chat with your sister.
have I not told
Helen
you?
is here, isn't she?
I always
Who
mean
wants
what I
to
say
know?
about
Peter
hunting.
Troy. Just tell her it's about Janine Lee and Steve Rennick. She
This is an
understands.
inspiration.
Look, tell her. I'll be
I
watching
drink
you.
to a
You
foeman
do that.
worthy of my steel at last.
I simply can't believe. This must be some sort of dream.
You'll find the game worth playing, Mr. Rainsford. Think of it, your
Yeah,
brain
it's
against
true.
mine, your woodcraft against mine, your strength, your stamina against mine. Outdoor chess.
You know what substitute means?
And the
It means
stake is
blank.
not without value,
Of course,
eh?
you know what the word means.
And if I
I'll
win,
cheerfully acknowledge
You're right,
myself
aren't you?
defeated if I do not find you by midnight of the third
What do you
day.
want?
My sloop will place you on the mainland
It's
near
an
a town.
elusive thing.
Well, you can
Much
trust
more
me.
elusive than that,
I give you my word as a
What are
gentleman,
you
as
driving
a
at, Mr.
sportsman.
Troy?
Didn't anyone ever tell you about that
Of
perfume,
course,
Helen?
you in turn
It
must
doesn't
agree to say
become you
nothing
at
of your
all.
visit here.
I will agree to nothing of the kind.
Heavy.
Oh,
It's like a trademark.
What do you mean?
well, in that
Rennick's
case.
apartment reeked of it the night he was killed.
But why
The
discuss that
manuscript of
now?
his half-finished novel
3
reeked
days
of it,
hence
too.
we can discuss it over a bottle of Veuve Clicquot, unless,
And I don't mean the title of his book either.
well, your choice,
I think that's
Mr.
going to be-
Rainsford.
You
I'm a
better
hunter,
tell
you
that
know
fella
my
to keep
choice.
away from me. I don't like
Yvonne
to-
here will supply you with
No,
hunting
no,
clothes,
no,
food, and knife.
no,
I
you-
suggest you wear moccasins. They leave a poorer trail. I suggest, too, that you avoid the big swamp in the southeast corner of the island. We call it Death Swamp.
What do you want with me, Troy?
There's quicksand there.
Confession.
Well, I must beg you to excuse me
This
now.
isn't a joke, Miss
We
Freeman.
always take our
You sure
siesta
see Rennick.
after our lunch.
Did I?
Don't we, Shushu?
First, I'll tell you this.
Come, my little
Rennick was
pet.
no
You'll
right.
hardly have time for a nap,
His
I
whole
fear.
life, he only
Mr.
read
Rainsford.
one book, the first one.
You'll want to
It
start.
caught the public's eye, and it was a bestseller.
I shall not follow
But he
through
couldn't
this.
maintain the standard.
Hunting at night is so much more exciting than by day, don't you think?
Then who wrote the others?
You did.
Well,
You were his ghostwriter. Oh,
au
don't you know?
revoir, Mr. Rainsford.
Melissa Morgan spilled the beans down at Scotland Yard.
I.
That's just the fact.
I fought my way through the bush for 2 hours, repeating to myself over and over again, I must keep my nerve, I must keep my nerve. My whole idea at first was to put distance between myself and General Zorro. And to this end, I had plunged along through the thicket, spurred on by the sharp growls of something very much like panic. Now I had got a grip on myself. I'd stopped. I was taking stock of the situation. I saw that straight flight was futile. Inevitably, it would bring me face to face with the sea. Well, I'll give him a trail, I muttered. and I struck off from the rude path I had been following and into the trackless wilderness. I made a series of intricate loops. I doubled back on my trail again and again, recalling all the lore of the fox hunt, all the dodges of the fox. Night found me exhausted, my hands and face lashed by the branches on a thickly wooded ridge. My need for rest was imperative, and I thought, I played the fox, now I must play the cat of the fable. A big tree with a thick trunk and outspread branches was nearby, and taking care not to leave the slightest mark, I climbed up and stretched out among the broad limbs. Rest brought me new confidence and almost a feeling of security. Even so expert a hunter as General Zaroff could not face me here, I assured myself. An apprehensive night crawled slowly by, my mind keenly alert for any sound, any warning. Towards the dawn, an instinct I never knew existed, like an animal must possess, impelled me to look far off in the distance on a westerly direction. Sure enough, following the trail with the sureness of a bloodhound came General Zaroff. Nothing escaped those searching black eyes, no crushed blade of grass, no bent twig, no mark, no matter how fine in the moss. My heart pounding furiously, I slid down quickly from the tree and struck off again into the woods. I knew I had to do something desperate. I knew that I had little time in which to do it. 300 yards from my hiding place, I stopped where a huge dead tree leaned precariously on a smaller living one. Throwing off my sack of food, I took my knife from its sheath and began to work with all my energy. The job was finished at last, and I threw myself down behind a fallen log 300 feet away. I did not have to wait long.
Why did that have to be destroyed? Because he wrote a dedication on the front page, didn't he? It read,
my darling.
For Helen, my devoted wife.
You'll be paid.
And that's you, isn't it?
Rainsford!
You're making a mistake.
That's why you're tolerating and stealing all your glory. You have to do it. His publishers wanted it that way, didn't they? And they still million sizes novels just as much as their plot lines. But you'd had enough of them, hadn't you?
Rainsford!
You don't know what it is like.
If you are within sound of my voice,
Someone who was falling in love with. The others
as I suppose you are,
but Johnny knew.
let me congratulate you.
Yes, I killed Steve. And I'd do it.
Not many men know how to make a maline man-catcher.
I sure have, Buster. But
Luckily for me, I too have hunted in Malacca.
Put away that
Out of the way, Helen.
You are proving interesting, Mr. Rainsford.
Nosy product. Why, you believe?
Very interesting. The tree brushed my shoulders. I jumped back.
Oh,
I'm going to have the wound dressed.
Ellen.
Only slight. I shall be back, Mr. Rainsford.
For unlawful entry.
I shall be back.
It was flight now, a desperate, hopeless flight that carried me on for hours. I don't know where I got the strength. I kept telling myself over and over again that I must keep my nerve. That I was competing with a monster, a super huntsman. Dusk came, then darkness, and still I managed to press on. The ground grew softer under my moccasins. The vegetation grew ranker, denser. Insects bit at me savagely. Suddenly, as I stepped forward, my foot sank into the ooze. I tried to wrench it back, but the muck sucked viciously at my foot like a giant leech. With a violent effort, I tore my foot loose. I knew where I was then. Death swamp and its quicksand. The softness of the earth had given me an idea. I stepped back from the quicksand a dozen feet or so and began to dig. When the pit was above my shoulders, I climbed out and from some hard saplings cut stakes and sharpened them to fine points. These stakes I planted in the bottom of the pit with the points sticking upwards. As fast as I could, I wove a rough carpet of weeds and branches and with it covered the mouth of the pit. Then, wet with sweat and aching with tiredness, I crouched behind the stump of a lightning-charmed tree. Oh, I knew Zaroff was coming. I could hear the paddling sound of his feet on the salt. Zaroff was coming and coming fast. He was not feeling his way along foot by foot. Crouching there, I could neither see him nor see the pit. I lived a year and a minute, frozen, every muscle tensed.
Very good, Rainsford. Very good. You've done well. Your Burmese tiger pit has claimed one of my finest hounds. Again you score. I think, Mr. Rainsford, I'll see what you can do against my whole pack. I'm going back to get them now. Thank you for a most amusing evening.
At daybreak, lying near the swamp, I was awakened by a sound that made me know I had new things to learn about fear. It was a distant sound, faint and wavering, but I knew it. It was the baying of a pack of hounds. I could do one of two things. I could stay where I was and wait. That was suicide. I could flee. That was postponing the inevitable. I had put my very last hope into that tiger pit. For a moment I stood there thinking. All at once an idea that held a wild chance came to me, and tightening my belt, I headed away from the swamp. The baying of the hounds drew nearer. They would be on me any minute now. My mind worked frantically. I thought of a native trick I had learned in Uganda. I caught hold of a springy young sapling, and to it fastened my hunting knife with the blade pointing down the trail. With a bit of wild grapevine, I tied back the sapling. Then I ran for my life. Hounds raised their terrifying voices as they heard and felt the fresh scent. I knew then how an animal at bay feels. At last I had to stop to get my breath. The baying of the hounds stopped just as suddenly. And with it my heart stopped too. They must have reached the knife. Excitedly I shinnied up a tree and looked back. My pursuers had stopped all right. But the hope that had been in my brain when I climbed died. For in the shallow valley I saw that General Zaroff was still on his feet. But Ivan was not. Apparently he had come along to hold the hounds. The knife, driven by the recoil of the springing tree, had splintered through his chest. I'd hardly tumbled to the ground when the pack took up the cry again. Nerve, 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 I panted as I dashed along. A blue gap showed between the trees dead ahead. The hounds were almost on top of me. I forced myself on towards that gap. I reached it. It was the shore of the sea. Across the cove, I could see the gloomy gray stone of the castle. 20 feet below me, the sea rumbled and hissed. I hesitated. I heard the hounds. Then I leaped far out into the sea. The sea was good to me. And I'm here safe in the General's bedroom waiting for him. 3 days are up, and I've eluded him. But now I must go further. In a moment we will meet, he and I, and he will be unarmed. Only one of us is going to live. You understand that now?
Quiet, Shushu. Shushu! You must be patient, dear. You must forgive me. You're hungry, I know. Shushu. Rainsford.
General.
Rainsford. How on earth did you get here?
Swam. I found it easier and quicker than walking through the jungle.
I congratulate you. Extraordinary. You've won the game.
Oh, no, General. I'm still a beast at bay. Here. Get ready, General Zaroff.
Swords?
Yes, 2 of them.
I see. Oh, very good. Very good, Rainsford. One of us, then, is to furnish a repast for the hounds. The other will sleep in this very excellent bed. Huh. Excellent. On guard, Rainsford. Ah!
was just as my late host said it would be. A very excellent bed.
And so closes The Most Dangerous Game by Richard Connell, starring Orson Welles. Tonight's tale of Suspense. Mr. Wells was General Zaroff, and Keenan Wynn, Rainsford. This is your narrator, the man in black, who conveys to you Columbia's invitation to spend this half hour in suspense next week, same time, when Orson Welles will again be our star in Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's story, The Lost Special. The producer of Suspense is William Spear, who tonight also directed the broadcast, and who, with Bernard Herrmann, the conductor, Lucian Marlowick, who composed the original score, and Private Jacques Anson Fink, the radio author, collaborated on tonight's Suspense.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.